Tonight I'm talking to you about social justice, and you'll understand it in the coming days why this is really important. This, if you missed it at the top of the show, this is why it's really important. You need to be a person who becomes familiar with this, and one person you need to be familiar with is Reverend Jim Wallis. He is the new spiritual advisor to the president, policy advisor too. It's kind of a spooky little pact, I think, going on there. When Jesus spoke of the widow's mite and how blessed she was, Jesus noted that she gave her all. She gave her all. It wasn't taken from her. If it would have been, it would have completely defeated her act. If Jesus would have walked up and taken the widow's mite, what difference does it make to her? That's the point he was making. She gave her all. But here's some more Bible news from the good Reverend, Barack Obama's new advisor on the Bible. Watch this.
There are 2,500 verses in the King James Bible about poor people. One time in seminary, we cut out of the Bible every reference to poor people. Every single one. It took us a long, long time. When we were done, that Bible was in shreds. It was falling apart. It was literally in holes, a Bible full of holes. I would take it out with me to preach. I'd say, brothers and sisters, this is the American Bible. It's full of holes.
First of all, let me just say this. It's not the American Bible. I don't know if he knows this. It wasn't written or compiled or bound together by Americans. Second, I'll take his word that there are 2,500 references to the poor. Absolutely. I mean, I haven't counted. I'm surprised there are that few. Wouldn't surprise me that there were more. But his point is, how many references are there to the poor? Now, let me ask you this. How many references to the government being responsible to take care of them? Zero. None. You see, the reason why Jesus was crucified is because they thought he was a king. Oh, here's your king. No, no, no. He was a king of another world. His kingdom is inside of us. That's what he was worried about, not this. How many references to the fact that Caesar or anybody else should take the money from the wealthy and distribute it to the poor in Galilee? You'd think if Jesus was preaching that, he would have been more clear. Hey, wow, we should picket. We should go march in front of Pontius Pilate. That might hack him off, though. No. This is a complete perversion of the gospel to try to jam it into Marxism or communism and rot us from the inside. There is not one example of that system of government providing a decent lives for their people. Not one. Show that government to me. This is the social justice they speak of. Social justice. Surely the president couldn't have yet another Marxist for a spiritual advisor. Didn't he just leave one? And then he couldn't go to church. He didn't go to church. But he's preaching to us about morals. He doesn't go to church. Why? Are there no Marxist churches in Washington? I'm sure you could find one. Reverend Wallis told the story a couple of years ago about the time he met, apparently Marxists know this person, I never heard of her, the Marxist Dorothy Day. Listen to this.
My Dorothy Day story happened here in Chicago. She was just leaving as we were coming on the scene. So we were living in Chicago.
Chicago?
So I ran, 20 blocks, and I'm in the parlor of the Catholic Worker, and in walks the great lady. Dorothy wrote a book about her life called Love is the Measure, but she wasn't ever soft, very tough.
So was Stalin.
So, you're a radical student like me, right? Yeah. You were a Marxist like me, right? Yeah.
So how does Reverend Wallis explain all of this to Barack Obama? I don't think he has to. They're on the exact same spread the wealth page.
It's not that I want to punish your success. I just want to make sure that everybody who is behind you, that they've got a chance at success too. Everybody's so pinched that business is bad for everybody. And I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.